Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2015 Week 8 Pepman's Best to Last. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm the Pepman, Matt Morrow, and thanks to many upsets this week, the best of last is going to look a lot different than it has in the past. And we spoke beforehand, and we got a little difference of opinion. So,
I just want to add that in this video now, I'm taller than Matt.
yeah, we've got some extra.
I just realized that.
Yeah, and I'm in an auxiliary chair.
I'm a giant. Okay.
So from the top to the bottom, here we go. Number 22, Garinger, lost to Rocky River. No change there. Move Harding down to spot 21. They lost to Catholic 41-0. Porter Ridge lost 18-7 to Independence. I thought they showed some improvement. That's why I moved them up a spot to number 20. Hopewell stays at number 19 after their loss to Mallard Creek. West Charlotte played North Meck tough, but they fall 3 spots this week to number 18. And at number 17, I have West Meck, who fell 3 spots in my list after losing to Providence 16-0.
And we're spot on.
All right. We'll keep rolling.
Yep.
Number 16, Rocky River moves up a spot after their win over Garinger. 15 Olympic, I got them moving up 3 spots after their upset victory over Ardrey-Kell, which was very impressive. Their defense continues to play well. This is where we start having a little difference. I moved Berry down 2 spots to number 14 after they lost to South Meck. And I know you got someone different at 14.
Yeah, I had Providence.
And that's why I have at 13.
Right.
That was no change in my list after they beat West Meck. And a big move up for me was number 12, East Meck. They move up 4 spots with their victory over Butler.
Right.
Now, in the past list, I've always talked about head-to-head being a difference. But now, with all these upsets and people moving up and down, you have to take a look at the whole body of work to see where teams relate within each other.
Exactly.
And I know you got a couple differences there.
Well, the only difference is I think we're close again. If we're going up through 12, I have Independence at 12 and East at 13. As you go on up, I think we're going to not see too much difference. Of course, obviously, I have Berry up and Berry's probably the biggest place that you and I differ.
Right. Number 11, Ardrey-Kell. They fall 3 spots after losing to Olympic at home. Disappointing loss. A lot of people, especially Ardrey-Kell fans, from what we've heard.
Right.
Number 10 for me is Independence. They move up 1 spot after beating Porter Ridge. I still think their defense is playing well. As we talked about on the site, the offense, it kind of is what it is right now. They continue to have some issues, but the defense is carrying them, and they're making enough plays to win games. And, I give them a little, credit for that. Number 9 is North Meck. Very tight game with West Charlotte. They pulled it out in the end, 32-25, sitting at 5-2 now.
Right.
And number 8 for me is Myers Park. They move up a spot even after having a bye, which I said before, as teams win and lose, they'll move around no matter what the situation is. Now through those rankings, I know you've got a couple differences.
Yeah. So out of all this, our biggest difference is Philip Berry, and I have Berry at 10. I think if we shift Berry down like you did, then our other rankings are real close to each other. It looks like I have Independence, Ardrey-Kell in that order, so Ardrey-Kell over Independence. But I think all those teams are really
I really love what Berry does. They just had a kind of tough start to the conference. They played Catholic, then they played South Meck.
Right.
Probably the top 2 teams in the league. So
exactly.
As conference play moves on, expect Berry to move back up the list there because I think they're going to start winning some games.
Sure.
Number 7 is Huff. No change for me. They had a bye. Number 6, Butler, moves down 3 spots after losing to East Meck.
Right.
Number 5, South Meck, moved up a spot with their win over Berry. And number 4, I have Vance, dropping 2 spots when they so-called upset. Lost to A.O. Brown, which we thought was going to be very close either way.
And after watching the game, it's kind of you know, if you saw what happened, it's almost like, was it really an upset? And I've got to say just a couple of things that I've questioned all year. Where is Vance's defense at? You know, and I think now I'm pretty settled that Vance's defense is what it is. And they really need some help. They need to move another athlete over, I think, over to the defensive side of the ball.
Right. So through number 4, what you got there?
At through number 4.
Yeah.
So I had South Meck at 4, Vance, Myers Park, Butler, in that order. And I think those teams are like, I could almost tie them together. I think you have about the same things, but in a little bit different order. Maybe after hearing about the injury, and I did this before.
Right.
I knew the injury. I saw the results, but I didn't know about the injury. But now hearing about the injury, I don't know.
We're talking about an injury with South.
Exactly. Antonio Wallace.
Yeah.
So this is all about who can beat who, and you know, one player can make a big difference.
Oh yeah.
But again, I think we're still really close. The biggest discrepancy so far really has been maybe our differences in Philip Berry so far, and then we're gonna have a little bit of differences on the next few.
Yeah. Top 3. Number 3 is A.O. Brown. I moved them up 2 spots with their win over Vance. And I know you got A.O. Brown a little higher.
I got them at number 2.
And number 2 for me is Charlotte Catholic after they won over Hart.
Right, exactly.
So your reasoning for A.O. Brown being number 2?
My reasoning is, after seeing both teams in person, I just think that Brown is diverse enough on offense to be able to score on Catholic. They showed that they could throw the ball, which is an element that you need to have if you're going to score against Catholic and you're going to want to open up that run game. You need to be able to throw, and they showed me that they can throw the ball.
Right.
And then their defense showed that, you know what, their defense is very solid, very, very good. They didn't see the best running back from Vance last night, but that doesn't matter. That Hall kid's a pretty good back himself, a strong 220-pound running back. And Kannapolis' defense, I thought, played very good overall. They're sound. So between Catholic and Brown, in my opinion, is really close.
Yeah, I favor Catholic mainly because their offense has that added element of the passing game, which they haven't had in the past. And I have a ton of respect for Coach Broderick's. He's done a heck of a job, and same for Mike Newsom. Obviously, I think, like I told you before, if there could be a tie in this,
right,
there'd be a tie at number 2.
Exactly.
Both of these guys. And number 1, obviously, we still both have Mallard Creek.
Sure.
Best team in the city. They won over Hope.
Somebody's got to beat them to move them down. I haven't seen anything that says that the other teams have everything that's needed to beat them. So there might even be a little bit of a gap between.
Yeah, because we talked about the teams coming together a little bit at the top. Now we've had some games, upsets happen. Now Mallard Creek's kind of separating themselves a little bit. Yep. But now we talked about Mallard Creek, Vance being the big game. So now it's going to be A.O. Brown and Mallard Creek.
So Vance has got to hope, like everything, that Mallard Creek beats A.O. Brown. And then Vance can beat Mallard Creek. Because if that doesn't happen,
right,
the conference is, I'd say, A.O. Brown's. A.O. Brown wins that game, most likely will decide the conference championship. If A.O. Brown beats Mallard Creek, they're conference champions. I don't think they lose again. Mallard Creek beats A.O. Brown. Even if they lose to Vance, that would create that 3-way tie.
Yeah,
that could create.
And we're going to talk about playoffs here in just a minute in a separate video, but those are our best of last rankings, and they'll be on the site very soon, and I'll break them all down with a little more information and analysis. Appreciate the feedback from last week. That was awesome. Looking forward to hearing it and seeing it again. Post you guys best of last. I'd love to see where you guys think everyone is after this crazy week in Charlotte high school football.
Exactly. It's just going to get more crazy. But hopefully not crazy with the weather.
Oh, yeah, we've had enough of that.
The weather's by. So. Don't want to stand in another rain game.
Exactly.
Post yours down below like you did this past week. Finally, you came out of hiding. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.